In another video, I unboxed the Fifine K688 and the dead cat quality. Fur moms are gonna hate my cat impression. But even after buying 2 copies of the K688, the USB-C feature was broken in both of them. So I've been forced to use it as an XLR-only mic. That's why today we're unboxing the Fifine K658, which is the K688's predecessor. This was Fifine's first broadcast dynamic microphone that sent shock waves throughout the internet. And RGB waves. Look at those colors. It's USB-C only without an XLR port. And as someone who used to be intimidated by the thought of getting an audio interface, I understand why you might want to choose the K658 over the K688, which has an XLR port. Let the unboxing begin. So we got the box and it's pretty big. Okay, let's pull this out like so. Okay, it's their usual sticker mechanism. Let's peel this away. I really don't find these appealing. Never mind, I said that. Okay, pull it up like so. Oh, look at that square. It is a perfect square. Ah, finally. Okay, we got the user's guide. We got a nice fancy shock mount that conveniently labels that this side is up. Thank you for the clear instructions, Fifine. We got a sturdy looking Fifine USB-C cable. The cable is actually slightly thicker than their usual. I wonder if that has any impact on the performance. We got a nice tripod that actually seems sturdier than most of their tripods. Interesting, this is the A6V tripod, which has a plastic base and thread. The legs on the A6V could be metal or a very hard plastic, not sure. But the K658's legs are definitely metal. And the tripod hooves are rounder rather than pointy. The K658's mini tabletop tripod might be the sturdiest one I've ever seen. We got a conveniently labeled 3/8" to 5/8" adapter for boom arm. We got this interesting looking metallic ring, but what does it do? And of course, we've got the microphone itself. Look at that beauty. Aww. That is a massive gain knob. Ooh, so that's what the black metallic ring is for, to plug it into the shock mount. Spinning, spinning, spinning. It's glowing. Oh, the RGB. Okay, so I can't hear how this sounds just yet, but you can hear how it sounds. What do you think about it? That is a lot of gain. What happens when I tap this? And now you can hear me. This is the gain knob. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Come to think of it, I've never seen a gain knob this big in any microphone. I mean, compare those knobs. The K658's knob is like Jupiter, and the K669B's knob is like Pluto, if it were still a planet. And I know Pluto is not a planet anymore, and it would be much tinier than this, but you get my point. A bigger knob essentially allows much more granularity and control over the gain. Controlling gain has never been this gradual. Is that a full turn without... Wow. I mean, listen to how gradual the gain is changing. Now, the way the K658 picks up sound really comes in handy for this tabletop setup. Since it's a front address microphone, it picks up sound from the tip. And I can just talk comfortably like this without really bending my neck, whereas if it's a side address condenser microphone like the Fifine, I would need to bend my neck like so. Kinda like in this video. I think it sounds good. Yeah, I don't think it's really changed. Okay, but how does it actually sound? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Hello. Yeah. Oh, this is pretty neat. You can actually turn the RGB off if you don't need it. You're gonna get to hear your playback as loud as you'd like. But I will compensate for that by raising my gain a bit more. Okay. Yeah. Right there. Okay, that's a bit much. Huh. This microphone is a plosive magnet. Plosive. Oh, wow. I don't even have to speak in plosives, but it's gonna puff everything. Does the foam come off? It's not coming off. Okay, this is making me very nervous. Is it soldered into the microphone? Ooh, with the K688, it is so easy to remove the foam pop filter. Yeah, that's gonna stay in there. Okay, for the K688, here's how it sounds. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Okay, yeah, there is definitely an improvement in the plosive department. They're still there. You could still benefit from tilting the microphone a little bit, but this was a plosive magnet. Presumably this new foam helps with that. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. K688, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, so we've now attached the K658 to the boom arm, and this is how that would look. Now with the RGB. So what I noticed was that when I put it on the tabletop, it had some kind of staticky noise, but maybe putting it on the boom arm would save it from that. Let me find out. Interesting. It's still there. Let me turn this around, have it face a different direction. Is there still white noise here? Yeah, it's still there. Okay, this is giving me some really mixed feelings about this microphone. So before we even talk about their difference in tonality, let's talk about the practical aspects of their sound. The K658 to my ear seems to be more prone to plosives. Second, it's just got a higher noise floor, quite noticeably so. There is this staticky sound that I hear, and I don't think that's radio interference, that's most likely preamp noise. Kind of like in the Teiyun Q12. Now for the tonality, the K688 definitely has a fatter low end from the lows to the low mids. It's closer to the sound of what you would expect from a broadcast dynamic microphone. The K658 is kind of like the K669B in terms of tonal quality, only it is a dynamic microphone. The K658 also has plenty of boosted highs. Like, I get that they're going for clarity, but it's overwhelmingly sharp. There's also a lot of unnecessary air in there that I'm not hearing in the K688, which makes this a bit more neutral sounding. Now, I wouldn't discount the K658 completely. Like, what's amazing about it is that it's still got an amazing signal-to-noise ratio. Dynamic microphones, and especially the Shure SM7B, usually require an additional gain booster to make sure that you get loud enough levels. So the fact that the K658 can sound loud enough on its own without a gain booster and without introducing too much noise, that is impressive. USB and dynamic tend to not go well together, so I'm impressed that Fifine took this risk. Now, there was something about the preamp noise in the K688 that was similar to the preamp noise in the K658. Remember when I said that the K688's USB-C feature was broken? This is how that sounds. Turning up the gain right there. Wow! Wow, can you hear that? Notice the similarity? Now, while the K688's USB mode was completely unusable, the K688's preamp noise sounded similar to the K658's. My guess is that Fifine is still perfecting its USB dynamic microphone technology. Their USB condensers, though, are amazing. Overall, would I recommend the K688 or the K658? I would say just go with the K688. It just sounds better overall in every aspect. Overall, from a practical standpoint, between these two mics, just get the K688. Tone-wise, it's just a more balanced broadcast dynamic sound. You get less plosives on this, and you can expand it to XLR. The headphone volume knob is also a much appreciated feature. And okay, perhaps this was an unfair comparison because I am using my Motu M2 to power the K688 because the USB-C is broken. Even then, I'd still recommend the K688 because if USB-C and XLR work, that would be great. And the worst case is if the USB-C doesn't work, just buy a Teiyun Q12 for $29, and adding the price of these two would pretty much match up to the K658. You would get an XLR setup for the same price, and if you get tired of this and you want to upgrade, replace it with something beefier. By the way, if you appreciate videos like this, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel. Every subscription really does motivate me to post more videos, so yeah. And if you want to hear more of the K688, check out this video.